Today is Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, and you're tuned in to Cup of Cyber, your daily dose of what matters in the world of cybersecurity. Let's break down the latest stories, threats, and trends over your morning coffee. Here's what we're covering today. A hacker claiming responsibility for a breach at Oracle Cloud is threatening to sell stolen data. CISA issues a critical warning about new malware actively exploiting an Ivanti zero-day, and President Trump extends the national emergency declaration over cyber threats for yet another year. Let's dig in. So our first story takes us into the cloud, specifically Oracle Cloud. A hacker going by the name X is claiming responsibility for a breach into Oracle's cloud infrastructure and is now threatening to sell the stolen data. This claim first popped up on a dark web forum and includes screenshots that appear to show access to Oracle environments. What makes this story particularly troubling is that the hacker is reportedly linked to prior high-profile breaches, and this time they're offering what they say is customer data and source code. If that turns out to be legit, it could have massive implications, not just for Oracle's, but for any company using its services. Now, Oracle hasn't confirmed a breach, but here's the deal. When attackers target cloud providers, it's not just one company at risk. It's potentially hundreds or thousands. Think of it like hitting the mainframe in a sci-fi movie. Pull that down, and the whole system shakes. So what can you do? First, double down on your cloud security posture. That means regularly reviewing your IAM roles, enabling logging and monitoring, and using services like AWS Guard Duty or Oracle's own monitoring tools if you're in that ecosystem. And of course, if your organization relies on third-party cloud services, it's time to ask those hard questions about segmentation, encryption, and incident response readiness. In our next story, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency is sounding the alarm. CISA just issued a warning about active exploitation of a zero-day vulnerability in Ivanti Connect Secure. If that sounds familiar, it's because Ivanti has been in the headlines quite a bit lately for being in attackers' crosshairs. This new warning comes as malware is being deployed to exploit the zero-day. We're talking about full-on, active abuse in the wild, not theoretical. That means if you're running Ivanti Connect Secure and haven't patched, you are potentially exposed right now. What makes this particularly nasty is how the malware enables persistent access. Once attackers get in, they can keep the door open for future entry, even if you change credentials. Here's the action plan. Patch immediately. Ivanti has released updates, so get them applied ASAP. Also, check for indicators of compromise and unusual traffic patterns. If you're using this platform in any remote access capacity, consider putting additional layers in place like MFA, or even isolating that traffic in a segmented zone. And just a quick reminder, patching isn't just for 0 days. It's like brushing your teeth. Do it regularly or risk a painful problem. And finally, a broader national policy move that could impact how we frame cybersecurity risk at the government level. President Donald Trump has extended the United States national emergency status over foreign cyber threats. The original declaration, which dates back to 2015 under President Obama, has been renewed annually. This extension reinforces the federal government's ability to act swiftly in response to foreign cyber attacks that threaten U.S. interests. So what does this mean in practical terms? It allows the Treasury Department and other agencies to impose sanctions on individuals or entities involved in malicious cyber activities. It also signals that the federal government is still taking state-sponsored cyber threats seriously. Think Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. For cybersecurity professionals, this is a good reminder that geopolitics and cybersecurity are deeply intertwined. The systems we protect are often targeted not just by criminals looking for a payout, but by nation-states pursuing strategic advantages. It underscores the importance of threat intelligence and staying on top of TTPs, that's tactics, techniques, and procedures, associated with APT groups. That wraps up today's episode of Cup of Cyber. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to check out the show notes for links to all the articles we covered today.